Welcome to this course on EFT techniques. Hello, my name is Francesca Molinari and I am an EFT coach, a Reiki master. I use hypnotherapy, past life regression, and also tarot reading to guide my clients through their healing journey and help them achieve their highest potential. The reason why I made this course is because there is nothing that is truly free out there showing the most important techniques out of all of the 48 ones that encompass the EFT techniques. And I wanted to create a course not only to show you a little bit of the theory, but mainly to guide you through the hows you can actually integrate these new wonderful techniques in your daily life to achieve your highest potential and the highest quality of life. So this is how I will be dressed and how I will speak and the kind of environment we'll have in the back. So if it suits you and you're interested and you'd like to learn how to relax in a little bit of time, just a few hours, this may be just a course for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you inside. And bye for now. Hello and welcome. So who am I and why did I make this course? My name is Francesca Molinari. I am a Reiki master and an EFT coach. I use hypnotherapy, I use tarot reading, past life regression, vocal toning, ASMR to help my clients reach their highest potential and their highest quality of life possible. I help them find answers within themselves through simple tools and simple application of these tools. Knowing how is not enough. We need to practice what we know every day, and only then we can truly reap the benefit of what we learn. So I made this course to teach you the basics of EFT techniques and how to correctly apply them, and also to provide you with some free, completely free information from the sites where you can find the actual science they're based on and the clinical trial, peer-reviewed clinical trials that have been performed in the past couple of decades by these very, very dedicated scientists. I am an empath, so my job on this earth is to help others achieve the best quality of life possible. And this is my drive. So making a free course to allow people to find their own emotional freedom seems to be fairly important and key to the whole process. I hope that by the end of this course, you will feel confident enough to use all these techniques and to go look for more information following your own intuition. Because we all have intuition. We just need to tap into it. And you can learn how. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the course. Once again, this is how I will be dressed. This is how I will talk. And this is the kind of environment you can expect. So if you don't like it, it's a free course. Please just archive it. Don't give me bad reviews, as that will affect the ability of other students who may need this course to actually find the course. I love feedback. Please, you're more than welcome to send me a private message with your feedback on what you would like to see included in the course. But just know that this is a free mini course, and I do offer other courses if you want to deepen your knowledge. But you don't have to spend any money. There is a lot of free information out there, and I can provide you with many, many links. Thank you for your time, and happy gentle healing. And bye for now. Hello, and welcome back. So, I just want to cover quickly how to use this course. I have designed the main meaty part to teach you the EFT techniques that you will need in order to start seeing results. Toward the last section of the course, I have also introduced other things that may help you along your journey. I am a hardcore vegan, and I am really well researched, and unlike many people, I know what I'm talking about. I don't come from an ego perspective, and the only reason why I talk about it is because it's an integral part of actually reaching one's true health and balance. This course, however, is not designed to be a substitute or any kind of advice. So please do not change your diet or anything just because you see the material in this course. This is for informational use only. I am not a licensed doctor, and I cannot advise you on what to eat and not. However, I can share my findings and the findings of those who have dedicated their own life to all of this. Hence, if you don't agree with the vegan side or any side of this course, all you have to do is just ignore it. It will not affect you in any way, and it will certainly not affect the quality of the EFT techniques that I will teach you. So I will just follow the lessons in order, because that's how they are designed to be used. However, if you're one of those people who likes to jump around, go right ahead. It will not hurt you, I promise. This stuff cannot hurt you in any way. Know that with everything I do and I show my clients, they are always at the center. So you are at the center of all of this. Nobody can make you do anything you're not willing to do yourself. If you feel insecure about something, just follow your gut instinct. And with this being said, once again, remember, it's not a substitute for medical advice or any medical cure, therapy, whatever it is that you are currently doing. I hope you enjoy it, and let's move forward so you can learn a few really easy and useful, effective techniques. Ciao! Here we are. Hello, popping out from the ethers. Time traveler Francesca is welcoming you to the last lecture of this section. Bravo, you made it. You should have gone through the quiz by now. You should know my name is Francesca Molinari. I am a Reiki master. Why am I teaching this course? Because I want to help you find the answers inside of you through these simple techniques you can learn in just a few hours. And also, I will teach you a little bit about chakras, how to pronounce chakras correctly, and why it should be pronounced correctly, and a lot of other little things on vocal toning, sound healing, ASMR, all this other stuff that can truly help you improve the quality of your life and the achievements, the performance, whether it's at school, at work, whether it's just you not being so nervous about something, or not able to sleep at night, or in pain, in physical pain as well. So you can use EFT techniques for a variety of issues, because most things that have to do with human beings, with people, generally speaking, have an emotional component. And this is why these amazing techniques work so well on such a huge variety of issues. So I hope you stick with the rest of the course. It's free, what you gotta lose. And I find that even with the courses that I feel the least in tune with, we all have those and meet those, I still always come away with something new that I learn. So I hope you enjoy this course and that it really helps you achieve the emotional freedom in every aspect of your life that you wish to achieve. All the best, happy gentle healing, and bravo for making it all the way to this point. And bye for now. See you in the next dimension. Hello and welcome to the first meaty lecture about how to use the basic EFT routine. The first thing you want to look at is up here on this side and this side. You see the basic tapping points. On this side, if you look up there, there is the karate chop point. It's this part of your hand. And you want to just tap that part. You don't have to tap harshly, with 3 or 4 fingers. And that's the starting point of your routine. When you tap on your karate chop point, you're effectively grounding your energy and bringing the polarity of your body to its natural state. Do you know all those people who say, oh, I've tried everything and nothing worked? Usually it's because the polarity of their body is not as it should be. And so nothing else will work until you bring that to its natural state. And you can do that easily by tapping on your karate chop point. And usually in a very short amount of time, 1 to 5 minutes, you'll see yourself more grounded, relaxed, and in tune. After you tap on the karate chop point, you want to find a rhythm that goes from top to bottom. With energy, we tend to follow one way, so the energy doesn't get confused. There are cases where we jump around. They're not covered in this mini course, and all that knowledge will come in time. Let's do one step at a time. So here we're learning the proper correct way of going through the points. First, karate chop point. Second, you can choose to go on top of your head, and if you see on the tapping point on that side, pardon me, you will see top of the head and where to hit. Usually I use 4 fingers for that, and it's about there. You will feel it because usually when you hit the right point, you feel a different sensation. It's sort of softer, and if you're a healer, you will just feel the energy actually going through. Don't worry, if you feel nothing, in time you will. Just follow the routine with me and try it out. There is no right or wrong, just do it. Then you go to your eyebrow point. You can also start on the eyebrow point and then come on top of the head at the end. That's a personal choice. Then you go to the side of the eye, and it's it's on the bony part there. And again, just follow along and worry about being more precise as you learn more. Get a feel for it. Then under the eye, again, follow the bone. Then you go under your nose. On your chin or under the mouth. And I'm usually using 2 fingers there. Then on your collarbone, it's about an inch below where the collarbone is, an inch below and a bit diagonally. If you go like this, you actually hit it. And it's a little above the heart chakra. It's not, the heart chakra is slightly lower. So I would say it's closer to the higher heart chakra. And then under the arm, you can do it like that, you can do it like this. It really depends on what you find comfortable. Some people go just like that. The wrist is optional. It's an extra. And so is under the breasts. It's just literally under the breasts where the bone is there. And again, you will feel it. But those are 2 extra points. I just put them there because it's nice to know. And then at that point, if you haven't done the top, you can do the top of the head. Otherwise, you can go on your thumb. And the way you do it is by tapping on both sides of all your fingers. In that way, you don't have to remember on which side, you just tap. And then there is an extra point that I will teach you later. I'll just show you. It's in between here, your pinky and your ring finger. It's the meaty part there. And that's called the 9 gamut. And then you can go back on your karate chop. The 9 gamut has its own procedure. So that's a whole different thing. I will teach that to you just because it's a really nice procedure to know. However, first get accustomed to this, to go in a nice rhythm around. Karate chop. Let's do it in this way. Eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, collarbone, underarm, top of the head, thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, 9 gamut, karate chop. Don't forget to breathe in and out, obviously, and all that good stuff. You need to breathe in and out as you're learning these new points. You will find in the resources section a link to a free mini manual you can download from EFT Universe website, and it's a really good mini manual you can use. Also on that side there's lots of free information for you. That's why I share it with people, and I always refer back to them because they have done many clinical trials that are all peer reviewed, and they share a lot of other good healers and techniques you can learn for free. And they have their own YouTube channel. Of course, there is some advertisement there. We can't get around that, unfortunately. I sit through it when I have to. And I'm still tapping, by the way. Feel free to continue this as we talk. You can literally do that anytime. And I'm just sharing all of this with you so that you can find your own path and you can find those who speak to you and talk to your soul. Because it's really important to realize that we all flow to those who can help us right now. So even if someone hasn't been great for me, that doesn't mean that someone cannot be great for you. We are all just humans, and we all have our own egotistical point of view. So I think the ability to distinguish between when someone is coming from their higher self and from their egotistical side will allow you to also take all that someone has to offer that is good, while being sort of empathic and understanding when they're not at their highest. We all, after all, go through up and downs, as much as we try and be our best all the time. And I think we all do, even those who really don't seem like. So I hope you enjoy this first part. It's just really about learning to go through the points correctly. And we will add the other part at the end. I just right now really want you to focus on the physical aspect of this. And I'll see you in the next video where I'll teach you the 9-gamut procedure. And then we'll move forward in the video after to put it all together. Bye for now, and thank you so much once again for getting all the way to this lesson. Happy gentle healing. Hello and welcome back to this portion of the course, this lesson called 9-gamut procedure. You can see the points above here, and I've also attached a little form, PDF form, in the resources section of this lecture, and you can refer back to it anytime you need to in order to remind yourself this procedure. Please know that before you use this procedure, you should have gone through the basic procedures a few times, and you should feel not as charged about the problem. When we deal with EFT techniques, before we start anything, we usually measure our subjective unit of distress, which is also called SUD level, S-U-D level. And it goes from 0 to 10, and 0 is having no feeling whatsoever about the problem, and 10 being the max intense feeling we can feel about this problem. So you want to be closer to the 5 and below before you start using the 9-gamut. So many experts say this. However, from my own personal perspective, and someone who actually had and still has some of complex PTSD, I can reassure you that it all depends on yourself. So nothing will happen that is so bad if you keep tapping. And if in doubt, you can just stop tapping on the 9-gamut, and you can just go and tap on your karate chop point, and you can start thinking about your breathing. So you want focus from the problem that you're working on with the 9-gamut, and you bring your attention on something very general. May that be the weather or just your breathing. This being said, let's get into the 9-gamut. So now you know what you're in for. It's nothing crazy. It's just something that is really powerful in removing past traumas and issues that have been haunting us for a long time. So you do your own procedure. You go through the whole points, right? We're going quickly through these points, so we're bringing ourselves back into the whole thing. And you can do this, guys, too, on the hands. I always like to go back to the karate chop point myself, and then I go on the 9-gamut. And at this point on the 9-gamut, there are 9 things you want to do. Is as you tap or massage the 9-gamut, you close your eyes and you open your eyes. You want to keep your head straight, looking ahead and without tilting as you do this. Relax, but straight ahead. Close your eyes, open your eyes. Then bring your eyes hard down right. Back to the center. Bring your eyes hard down to the left. Back to the center. At this point, you want to imagine you have a huge clock in front of your nose, and you're looking at the dials of this clock from 12, and you go all the way down in one direction, and then you can do it 2-3 times, and notice where your eyes glitch, and you look at the very furthest point of the dial as you do that. And then you want to do exactly the same thing backward. So as you massage or tap on your 9 gamut. So let's try and do this. And you go like that, and you go like that, and you really try and look at the very furthest point. I know I'm having my fun here, guys. Try not to. And then you go back. And don't worry if you skip, just notice what it is that you're doing. Try to look at the furthest perimeter of your circle. Keep your eyes moving smoothly, as smoothly as you can, and your head fixed. And when you're done, you want to start humming any song you like. And then you want to count from 1 to 10 or from 10 to 1 as quickly as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you want to hum again. If happy birthday bothers you, please just ignore it and hum something that makes you happy and relax. And you can just ignore the happy birthday humming. You can also let me know. I can also shoot a video in a different manner if you prefer it, to help you out. So this being said, this is what the 9 gamut procedure is. It's just going through these different sets of things, these 9 tasks. And you have to do them in a certain order. It's best to keep this order just because it works really great. However, the 3 tasks you should look to keep together is that you hum, you count, you hum. And it has an interesting explanation for this. I don't really want to get too much into the theory details here because this course is truly geared toward teaching you what you need to implement it. However, it's something to do with going from using the right side of your brain, the humming, to your left side, which is the logical part, the counting. And this movement back and forth has been shown through all these peer-reviewed clinical trials that it actually unblocks and releases the trauma. So remember, before you start any tapping, just try and see what your SAD level is from 0 to 10. How intense is this feeling inside of you? And all of that. But we'll cover all that in the next lessons. I just want to start telling that to you so it starts entering your mind. And don't be afraid of the 9 gamma. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's a very, very effective technique. And sometimes people may have abreactions. And if you do have an abreaction, all you have to do is truly just stop tapping on your Karate point. Focus on your breathing, on the here and now. Open your eyes. Always keep your eyes open if you are prone to having abreactions. So people who suffer from PTSD, complex PTSD, if you keep your eyes open, that will help you greatly in most cases. Remember, everybody's a little different, and if you do suffer from complex PTSD or PTSD, most likely it would be best to work with someone else anyway, because they are a little harder to work on by yourself. However, I do teach people how to do it as an add-on. So again, follow your own guts. Remember, you are the center of all of this, and only do things that feel comfortable to you. Peace, love, and light, and I will definitely see you in the next lesson if you join me. Ciao for now, and thank you so much for following the course so far. Hello there, and welcome back. So let's put all that we have learned so far together, and let's explain a little bit about EFT techniques and why we do things the way we do. So EFT techniques use different kind of therapies together. They use exposure therapy, where we expose the problem. When we tap on the karate chop point, we say a set of phrases 3 times, and it's the same phrase. We can say it in different ways each time, but the first part of this phrase is the exposure therapy part, and it says, even though I have this problem, and you name the problem. So we'll just say, even though I have this problem, fill in the blanks. The second part is the acceptance part. So we use cognitive therapy, where we basically change our point of view by accepting the fact that we have this issue right now. So we say, even though I have this problem, exposure therapy, I accept how I feel right now. I accept the way I have this problem. I accept where I am in my life. As we do these 2 things, we tap on our meridian of the body. And by doing so, we're actually actively relaxing our amygdala. And our amygdala is the one that tells us to go into flight or fight when a tiger or something that is an actual threat is coming toward us. It's there because we used to have to run away from tigers before. We lived in an environment that was hostile. Well, more than now in a way, right? But our brain has not evolved to understand that when we get into an argument, whenever anything that is out of the ordinary comes into our life, we can get triggered, and we go into the same flight or fight mode as if we were running away from a tiger. So this is just how our brain is designed. Now, there's lots of great scientists out there who will explain this beautifully to you. It's not my duty here to do so, and I don't really want to use this time to do that, because it's not what I'm here for. I am truly here just to show you how to get through all of this and how to best take advantage of what you have to work with right now. So the best way to use EFT techniques is to use them correctly, and to use them at the right time, the right technique at the right time. To start with, the best thing to do is to get accustomed to all the tapping points, get accustomed to the 9-gamut procedure, and get accustomed to the even though, state the problem, I accept how I feel, and find a way that gyrates well with you and feels right for you as you say the words. Now, what is the difference between saying and thinking? For most people, when you say something, it becomes more real. A thought is powerful. When you actually speak that thought, you are actually speaking it into action. So it involves more involvement, it involves more emotional involvement. Here we're working with emotions, so you definitely want to bring your emotions into the mix. And when you're trying to work on a problem, unless you're going through the problem right now and then you're just doing EFT as an emergency kit, you need to revive that feeling you had as you had that problem. Unless, of course, it's very vivid inside of you already. Then problem solved, just start tapping away. With tapping, the truth is you can just tap through the points. If you find yourself in a stressful situation, my first course that I taught actually was on people who react and learning how to act instead of react. Because I used to get angry really quickly and I used to go in flight and fight mode really, really fast and become extremely aggressive because I went through serious trauma as a kid and then throughout my life until I broke the pattern. So that really makes you go into flight or fight a lot quicker. And when you have complex PTSD, you have a lot more triggers. So things that for other people wouldn't be triggering, for you, they're extremely triggering. Most people think you're crazy. You're not. You just have complex PTSD. Now, I call them complex PTSD and all this stuff just so you know what I'm talking about. It's a way to define a series of issues. I don't particularly use labels and think of things in terms of strict labels. I just use them because they're easier to communicate. Things change and are always mobile in the world, and I find it's very important to be able to understand that labels are only there as a tool, not as the end game. Not in my world, anyway. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I am very, very happy to interact with all my students, and I'm always there to try and make the courses I put out better and better, because my sole goal here is to help you find your own way. And this being said, when I use EFT techniques, I use them in a variety of ways, and the reason why I am very adamant about teaching the right way of learning them is it is very important to practice things in such a way that will actually give you the maximum result with the least amount of suffering. That's always my goal and goal. And I know that taught in this manner, they actually can be very, very effective. EFT techniques work best when you work specifically on a problem. So let's say you have depression. Depression is like the tabletop. Each event that caused you to become depressed are the legs of the table. When we try and put down a table, we don't push on the tabletop, we push on the legs. And that's what you need to do in order to get over such an issue. So realizing that when you work on something like, even though I'm depressed, I accept myself, that's working on your tabletop, and that will only bring you partial results. And it's kind of like taking a pill. The pain goes away for a couple of hours and then it comes back. You need to work on the specific events that brought you to having that tabletop. And usually it's not just one. Usually it's a series, and our brain tends to conglomerate similar events together because this reaction we have inside of us, it's again the flight or fight reaction, is only there. The egotistical side of us, the ego side of us, is only there to keep us alive in this 3D matrix where we are a physical body. But we are a body and a soul, and those who forget this are not really being kind to themselves and fair. Humans, any living being, has a soul inside, and you need to take note of that. So our brain is not just the logical side, the left side. Our brain is the right side as well, the emotional side. And if you don't take into consideration the emotion and your spiritual side, you're really doing a disservice to yourself, and you're never really going to be a complete person, in the sense that you're never going to really live at your full potential. That's what I mean. You are always a complete person. Don't ever doubt that. So when you do EFT techniques, the best way is to actually follow the formula that is taught either on the EFT Universe website by Dr. Dawson Church in his free mini manual, or what I'm teaching you here. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just I like to share what others do, because it's important to have the whole picture. And I learned from him. So in I went to his seminar, and I have watched a lot of things, and I followed a lot of things. I read a lot of books. So I have been working with this stuff for a long time. But definitely he has done with his colleagues all the scientific research. So if you're interested in that, please go and check out his website and do the procedure in its entirety. So even though I have this problem, and you name the problem specifically, my right knee is hurting, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though my right knee is hurting and I feel this shooting pain, I love and accept myself deeply and completely. If you don't love yourself, don't say it. It's not necessary. I do love myself, so it just comes natural to me to say. Even though I have this hurt in my right knee, this pain, this shooting pain, I accept myself and this pain and as I feel right now. And that is your starting point. And then as you go through the points, you start talking about with precision how that pain feels. So you bring in all of your senses as you move through all the points. The shooting pain in my knee, and it's at a SUD level of 7, and it's really throbbing. And if you hear a sound, you see a color, you smell, anything of all your sensory aspects that come in, you want to address, either write it down or just tap through. Whatever comes to your mind without thinking is the right thing to say. Don't edit. There's no need to go into the positive. You want to stay in the negative as much as you need to, because with tapping you can. And as long as you're tapping through all the points and you are just going through the points, and you can keep going through them. Many people don't go through the hands point right away. Some people just go through the simple points. So at that point, you just really start following your guts. I would always keep one way of tapping, so go from top to bottom, especially in the beginning. But if you like to stay on your heart chakra or your collarbone point and just stay there, do that if that's what makes you feel great. You need to truly start listening to your own instinct, because we all have it. We are mostly water. Water is a superconductor, and we all have that instinct. We just need to tap into it and trust it. That little voice you hear, that little picture, that little sentence that goes through your mind. However you get your messages, everybody gets messages. You just have to be open to listening to them. And while you tap and you use exposure therapy and you use cognitive therapy and you're tapping on the meridian of your bodies using the acupuncture or acupressure points that are used when you do acupuncture, you will achieve so much peace, and you will be able to move through a lot of issues that you thought before was not possible. So this is just to get you started. And I'll see you in the next section for a little bit of fun times going through different issues, and also to address when you want to zoom in on a problem and zoom out. I'll see you in the next lesson, and thank you so much for being part of this healing community. Peace and happy, gentle healing. Hello guys, and welcome back. So in this section, we are going to just cover a little bit more about tapping and how to better use these techniques. By now, you should have gone and downloaded your free EFT mini manual from the Dr. Dawson Church website at EFTuniverse.com. It's completely free. You can opt out of any email you get from them, so don't worry about advertisement and stuff. It's a completely safe site, and that's why I'm sharing the site and the free EFT mini manual. If you have any problems downloading it, let me know. I do have a copy of it on my computer just because it's a great manual. I also do know of many other resources, and I usually share them as people ask for them, because otherwise it becomes an insane amount of resources I would have to list. So just work with me if you have questions, and ask in the Q&A section so other people can also take advantage of the answers, if you don't mind. And if you have any special requests or would like to see something done slightly differently, just let me know. Send me a private message. I'm more than happy to do what I can. And this being said, I want to tell you one thing. Let's just start tapping. As we tap on our karate chop point, maybe as we talk, so you can start relaxing. When you tap, it actually allows you to listen, because it really relaxes you right away. And basically, what you're telling your body is, you can relax now. And that's why it's so effective into letting the trauma go and changing the pattern in our brain, because this is what's actually happening. You're literally rewriting your programming, your basic programming, as you tap. Many people think that you do go into hypnosis, and yes, you do, because I mean it's very hypnotic to do something over and over and consistently. However, those people who think it's only about that haven't really done proper research and are really minimizing what EFT techniques are. I'm not sure why. It may be out of ignorance, or because they feel it's competitive. I come from a non-competitive point of view. I know for a fact that there is great need for healers, and the more the merrier. So I'll always be the helpful person who shares other healers rather than put them down. And healers is used as a general world, just so you know. Your body heals itself. That's actual science. All we do is just relax the body so it can heal itself, and that's what Western pharma care is supposed to do as well, except that usually has 10,000 side effects. I personally don't really use Western medicine, and I'm not really fond of it. However, again, I am never going to give you medical advice and stuff like that, because A, I don't believe in it, and B, I'm not licensed to do so. So everything I say is truly my own personal experience, and what I teach about the EFT and the Reiki, all the other stuff, is based on a lot of evidence and also on my own personal experiences. So always use everything at your own discretion. I like to remind you of this. You are at the center of this. You are the magician here. So I'm always tapping. If you have any kind of emotional turmoil and you start tapping on your karate chop point, it will allow you to start grounding, relaxing, and getting in tune into your own chakras and everything. With EFT techniques, I said before that it's very important to go and tap on specific events. How can you choose the events, the right event to tap on? The best way is to always choose the event that happened the earliest time in your life, and the event that carries still to this day today the most emotional turmoil and upset. So those are the two ways you want to decide where to go. Follow your instinct. Whatever comes into your mind first is usually the thing you need to work on, and move through it. And go through every aspect of this event. So we have many sensory ways of feeling things. You can hear it, you can see it, you can smell it, you can touch it. So use all of them as they come up. We are all different, and we'll all have different reactions, and we all remember things in our own way. So you need to get comfortable with yourself and how you process things, and that will allow you to have a really honest tapping routine. No trying to say things in a polite way. You can literally go through a whole tapping routine just crying, and it will still work. I have done tapping routines where I was yelling throughout, or I was crying, where I was swearing in Italian. Whatever is it you're going through right then, if you're already triggered, you want to just start tapping on your karate chop point and focusing on your breathing. And that will allow you to relax, to focus in the moment. Keep your eyes open so you know you're safe, and that will allow you to come back. If you are trying to get rid of a specific issues, then definitely go as specific as you can. Time of day. If you don't remember all of the aspects, you can invent, make up stuff, because whatever you make up usually comes from things that are stored in our unconscious. This is all the experts say, and I have experienced it to be actually true. So go ahead and try it out. However, if you have abreactions, you want to zoom out of the problem and focus on breathing and unfocus from the problem and just relax. So those are the two different things you have to pay attention to. If you have an amp reaction, it has your tapping, most generally speaking, nothing really will happen. Just keep tapping through and unfocus from the problem. That's it. And bring yourself back into the present moment and keep tapping until you feel calm once again. There are other things that we can do in order to prevent these abreactions. One of the things I will teach you quickly right now is to just, instead of living through the experience and imagining yourself going through it, just sit yourself on a couch with a friend and watch the experience as if it was a movie. And that will take you out of the actual event and take away some of that emotional turmoil. You also want to bring all of the SAT level down closer to 0 as possible. Anything below 5 starts to be decent, but really below 3 is better. Close to 0, obviously, it's optimum. However, just stop where you feel comfortable, because a lot of times we're only willing to let go of so much, and that's okay. Go at your own pace. Respect your own pace. You are the center of this. Don't let someone else tell you what works best for you. You are the master of your own decisions, and you need to take charge of this and really understand that what you say goes, because you are the center of this. And be kind to yourself, always. Even when you don't feel like being kind, and you can tap on it. Even though I don't feel like being kind with myself right now, I accept how I feel right now. And even though I don't feel like I can be kind to myself right now, I'm really being mean to myself. I accept how I feel right now and where I am at. And even though I can't be kind to myself and it hurts in my heart when I do this, and I can't stop myself, and I don't want to stop myself, I accept myself and where I'm at. You can say things in many different ways, make them comfortable for you, but do say, even though expose the problem, and you accept where you are right now as you're tapping. And then you move through the points, and you can just say one word, this problem, and you're focusing on that problem. You can just cry, you can just laugh, whatever comes to you as you go through the tapping procedure. And you can go through the tapping procedure as many times as you want. I advise at least 2-3 times, because you do need to give your body to go through it a little bit. It doesn't take that much. I have tapped for like 1 minute or 5 minutes. Just do it as needed. However, the more you do it, the better it's gonna be, the easier it's gonna be, and the more effective it's going to be. Remember, going precise on each little event is what truly makes a difference. Tapping on depression, will not really do much for you. And that's where a lot of people go wrong and fail at tapping. So this is the end of this section. I will add a bunch of um, examples from websites and movies. You can watch videos, not movies, but videos of sample of how to do these different sections. EFTuniverse.com has tons of this. I will share a few because I have them saved on my YouTube. And I really invite you to also check out my YouTube channel. It's really small, so there's not advertisement yet there. And I do have different lists. I am hardcore vegan, as I said, so some stuff can be controversial for you. Don't let it bother you. Just ignore it, and you can go in my different lists and check out the lists that say EFT tapping with Francesca, tapping group with Francesca. I also do ASMR on my channel because it's really relaxing for a lot of people, and I use different techniques together because I find them work best. And that's why I have included a little bit of blurb on those techniques in the next section so that you have a little bit of an idea of how you can integrate this tapping with other things. I hope you enjoyed this, and I truly wish you all the best in your healing journey. Don't be discouraged. Do join the Discord channel. I have put the link at the very last of this course, and you are more than welcome to join our community and be a part of it. Just know that in my vegan community, we don't talk about non-vegan food. It's highly forbidden, and people do get kicked out because of that. I realize we're all at different stages in our journey. However, I'm very sorry I'm unable to accept the cruelty that goes along with being non-vegan. And so while I accept we're all at different points in our life, I don't really want to be made part of non-vegan jokes and stuff like that. I do not find animal suffering funny in the very least. And I have done a lot of research, and I just don't really care for arguing about stuff like that any longer either. So feel free to be at whatever stage you're at. However, please don't share all that in my community and the community of healing people that are there. This being said, all the best, and thank you so much for following this course. Please let me know if you need anything else, any more clarifications, and I will see you again in the next section. Bye for now, and keep tapping. Hi guys, welcome back. So this is the section about different healing modalities you can use along with EFT techniques. The first thing I want to talk about is the chakras. Being a Reiki master, I heard the word chakra so many times. Now, chakra is a Sanskrit word, and while I do not speak Sanskrit nor read it, I had an East Indian boyfriend a long time ago who was very skeptical about anything that was these alternative healing modalities. And when I went home and told him what I had learned about all the chakras and this and that, naturally, being Italian, I wanted to pronounce the word chakras as chakras. However, a lot of people in English speaking countries like to say the word chakra in the wrong way. They like to say chakra, which really triggers me because A, it just sounds completely wrong because it is, and B, because of this event with my ex-boyfriend who made fun of the way they said the word and basically told me, oh, they can't even say such an important word correctly. What else can they teach that is also wrong? And it truly triggered inside of me this reaction where I thought, yeah, it's true. If you can't even bother to educate yourself, to say such an important word in a semi-correct way, I understand we don't speak Sanskrit, so even I can only say it as close as I can to the right pronunciation. However, there is a big difference between saying chakras and saying chakras and actually trying to say it closer to it. The reason why you want to say words, especially words as important as chakras, close to how they're correctly pronounced, is that the way we say things carries energy. And the way the word chakra is said carries a certain kind of energy meant to help in the healing and opening of these wheels of energy, these centers that lie inside of us. And by the way, there's tons of them. There's not only those seven, but we refer to those seven because they are the major ones. Just like with the meridians, there's tons, but we tap on specific ones, the, the common, the most common ones, and also because it's the most effective way. Um, but this is an important point I wanted to cover with you before we move slightly further into this. Every chakra is very important. Know for a fact that if your first chakra, the red one that says I am safe, is not balanced, all the others will also be affected. It's kind of like, I like to say, the butthole of our energetic body. If that doesn't let go of the old stuff and nothing else works and everything else gets polluted. So imagine your energetic system. I was saying electric, but it's very electricity in a way. Your energetic system, imagine it being very much like your body. And it's very important to address the chakras from the first to the second and so forth. Keep, just like in tapping, keep a certain order. You don't have to be attuned to Reiki in order to use your healing energy. Everybody has this, and in fact, many people have had Satori moments where they were initiated spontaneously. So it's always best, if you are specifically looking to do Reiki, to be attuned. And many times I also buy courses just to get attuned because it's good to be reattuned and by different teachers. And I have been a teacher for a very long time now. However, you are always growing in your healing journey, so it's constant. I like to learn from everybody, and even people I don't really agree with, I always find I learn stuff from them. So keeping an open mind is really, really important. And also accepting when we don't come from our higher self, when we come from our lower chakras, we tend to be more egotistical. Our higher chakras are more, just, it's just a name, they're the higher part of self. But remember, we have to take care of both sides of ourselves, the inside, the outside, the dark side, the light side. There is no darkness without light, there is no light without darkness. We need to nurture both sides of ourselves and use them correctly. The egotistical side, the ego side, is there to keep us alive, is there to keep us safe. So when you use that in the correct manner, it actually allows you to then use your higher self for what's meant to be. And it's very important to honor both sides of us. Now, EFT techniques allow you to easily tap into your lower side and let go of all the gunk, and then tap into the positive. First, you always tap in the negative, and then you tap into the positive. When you're trying to do Reiki meditation, any of these things, if you use EFT techniques along with Reiki and other healing modalities, you will find that they work really well together and they speed up the process quite a bit. Also, the other thing I want to tell you is that if you are looking to balance your chakras and you don't have a lot of money, just go in nature, hug a tree, literally. It works, it's unbelievable. If you have pets, loving your pets and cuddling them, that can also really help a lot. But going in nature is one of the easiest way to balance all your chakras. Taking a shower while you tap on your karate chop point is extremely effective, and washing dishes is also very effective. Anything that will truly relax you will help you to balance them. However, when you go in nature, it's one of those things that will just take over and just allow the universe to help you in this process. Always tapping will bring you back to balance as well. So I often use all of these things together. I do use color therapy, so all those colors are not necessarily fixed, depends on the individual. However, those are the general colors you would find in a healthy, balanced, invigorated energy system. And take any variations that it comes with. It's usually okay. It's just this is the generally accepted um, way of portraying it, and it's because each color vibrates at a different frequency, and that's how each frequency shows up in colors. So if you're interested in knowing more about this, let me know again. I will share some links where you can find more information. So if you just want to start by exercising a little bit with energy healing, you wrap your palms in this manner and let your hands come apart and imagine you're creating a chi ball. And this is in qigong, I believe, and a lot of those energy healing do this. And you can make the ball and you can move your hands, just allowing the energy to grow within your hands. And some of you will just start from here and not feel it for a while when they go out. It just may take a little bit of time. Just give yourself the time to play with this and know that if in doubt and you have nothing else, go in nature. Hug yourself is another great way to just relax and tap. So you have many choices, you have many ways to ground yourself and balance your chakras now. And I have put a link there for you to see how it's spelled, the phonetics, and how it's supposed to be pronounced. Just because I'm really adamant about teaching people how to say this very important word in the correct way. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you keep watching until the end of this course. And of course, come and be a part of our Discord community. It's completely free, and that's where we all meet in the vegan community that is open to anyone who wants to heal, who wants to go on a healing journey and participate with others and share. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now. Hi guys, welcome back. So I just wanted to show you here. I have made this nice little chart with notes corresponding to your chakras. If you see, from number 1 is the first chakra, and the note is C. If you're from Europe, it's Do, and so forth. The way you do vocal toning is underneath the numbers. You see the letter E, so that's and then the second chakra, the orange one, is the note D or Re, and it's O, and then it goes on. There is a course on Udemy. This course was made by Laura Normano, and it's an amazing vocal toning course. I advise you to check it out if you're interested in learning more about vocal toning. Now, vocal toning is the highest form of sound healing, because anything that comes from within you is always king. Don't ever doubt that and let anyone tell you otherwise. They are only doing so because of their own ego. Everything that comes from within you is designed to vibrate correctly for what you need right then and there. And that's why I am such a big lover of vocal toning. Mantra chanting, that's what I meant to say. I made one word, chantra. Yes, I invent words. Mantra chanting is pretty much the same, and we all have some sort of vocal toning in each kind of part of the world. So whatever kind you do, know that the vibration that comes out of you is always the best. That's why singing is so great. And that's why is one of the things I really want to learn to do. Not so much because I want to become famous, is because when you know how to modulate your voice and how to tap into it, you can actually unblock your chakras. So it's another great way. If you're a musician, you're already doing it. You're just maybe not applying it in a way where it can truly help you throughout and always. So this is just one of the little things I do on the side to help people. I like to take a lot of courses and then I share with others and I point them into a certain direction that they may be interested in. But it's always up to you where you go and what you do with it. What I share is free. I have a bunch of stuff on my YouTube channel about this. I have even shared Laura's intro video where she shows you how to actually work on your first chakra for free. It's all on my YouTube channel. I create different lists and I list a lot of different channels because I am truly about sharing. I don't just talk and give you lip service. I actually show it in reality. And I'll never change. This is how I've always been. I am a true blue empath and I've never been able to change. And why should I? The world needs people like me. And I know there's a lot like me out there. So I encourage you, if you are one of those people, to don't be shy. Just start sharing your gifts. ASMR is another thing I use a lot, autosensory meridian response. That's what it stands for. And it's again another way to relax. A lot of people with anxiety use it. A lot of these people don't know about EFT techniques. They are probably way more effective than ASMR even is. However, I always use ASMR along with anything else I do because it is truly relaxing. And I just want to share it with you right now. This is ASMR, okay? So just so you know. I wanted to do a video a little bit without it to show you. And I did the one on sound healing on purpose without it because I wanted to point out that until now, I have had ASMR in the background. If it bothers you, it means it's not the right sound for you, or maybe you're just not built for ASMR. Not everybody enjoys it. Just like anything, everything works, and then there's always someone who is the oddball, and that's fine too. So don't feel weird, just go with the flow and float toward whatever is truly calling your heart. Remember, your instinct is always about connecting your heart chakra with your mind. You go in heart coherence, and the Art Math Institute teaches this. Also, if you go on the EFT universe, they do talk about this. And I will share in the bonus section a couple of things that you may find interesting in terms of heart coherence. There is one meditation you can do every day to bring yourself in heart coherence, and that will allow you not only to feel great and always come from your highest good, but also will allow you to do a tapping routine every day and actually instill this habit that should be like brushing your teeth and eating, something you do every single day. And with this note, I want to say thank you once again for being part of this healing community. And please don't be shy, ask questions and whatever you need. And I do want to say one thing about veganism really quickly. The reason why I am so adamant about sharing veganism is not just because it is not okay to hurt animals. It's not our own choice to take someone else's life. So it is not a personal choice to be non-vegan. But also because as a true blue healer, I can tell you and guarantee that until you eat with compassion, you will never reach your true highest potential. Because to be human is to live humanely. That's the etymology of the word. And when we kill others, we're not living humanely. We're coming from our egotistical side. On top of the real evidence that has been shown by true scientists who are not interested in just sharing propaganda, that we're not really even omnivores. We're actually just meant to truly eat fruit and veggies. and in that order, by the way, unlike many people wrongfully think. But if you need any links to actual scientists who can show you this, ask me and I will more than gladly answer you in the Q&A session. So everybody else can also take advantage of this. And if you don't agree, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to shun you or anything else, but I am extremely well researched, and you'll never be able to change my mind on this. When you eat non-vegan foods, you are always going to vibrate at a lower frequency because that's where they vibrate at. To eat properly, fruit is the highest of all. Water and fruit are the highest in vibration and will always heal your body way faster than anything else. And veggies, of course, are the other ones. So I encourage you to look into different non-propaganda sites that will actually show you the real science and the whys of this. And with this note, I just want to tell you all, wherever you are right now in your journey, it's where you're supposed to be. So don't let any vegans or non-vegans shun you. I only share all of this information because I know that it will make your life a lot easier over time, and also because with EFT techniques and all these healing modalities that I've shown you, it is truly possible to change any kind of bad habit. I used to be very addicted to cheese and prosciutto. I'm Italian. I grew up with this stuff. We have more cheeses than the Frenchies do. And I say it with love because I used to love cheese, guys. But unfortunately, all that stuff really truly does bring your energetic level down, and you can never really truly reach your highest potential just because of the mechanics. You know, it's like saying force of gravity does exist, and it's silly to try and say it doesn't. It does exist on this earth, so we are all affected by it, even though some people want to deny that. If I jump out of a building, I will most likely go all the way down, and so will the next skinny girl. So yeah, I'm not skinny, but I'm just saying. So I hope this helped you, and all the best in your journey, and always be compassionate toward yourself first and foremost, because if you're not compassionate to yourself, you can never be compassionate to anyone else. Love yourself. Peace, happy, gentle healing, and I'm always here if you need any sort of help with any of this stuff. Bye for now. Looks like you made it, and I can't sing for the life of me, but I love it. I just want to tell you, yay, you made it to the end. You lived through the whole tapping craze and talking about vocal toning, ASMR, and all this different stuff. I hope that you start implementing everything you learned on a daily basis, even if it's just stopping for 5 minutes a day to start with. I advise you to check out the MP3 that I shared from Dr. Dawson Church. It's a free MP3, has been online available for a long time now, over 10 years. And it's about using EFT techniques and a bunch of other techniques that he has refined and he has called eco meditation. I really love Dr. Dawson Church because he truly is interested in helping others. He has done the research. He's an artist, an author, and he truly has a good heart. I have met him personally the week after his whole house burned down, and him and his wife had to run away and leave everything behind. And I can tell you that he truly is a testament of how EFT techniques work amazingly, even in situations such as that. And I know he's not a poser. I'm an empath. You cannot lie to an empath really easily. And he collaborates even with people who haven't haven't shown him as much respect as they should have. And I've seen it with my own eyes. So you can be reassured that if you want to become an EFT coach and learn these EFT techniques and you take his course, you will be really ready. And if you need to work with any of the coaches on his website, he does have a list of really good coaches. I work with some of them. I've worked directly with some of them, and I can attest that they are really well trained. So you don't have to take his course. You can take a bunch of other courses, and it's up to you. However, I just want to share that with you in case you're wondering where you could learn all of this. I'm a maverick. I always do things in my own way. I have been involved in this alternative healing modalities since I was 7. I suffered from really severe migraines pretty much every day, and I had extreme psoriasis all over my body for many years, and I've gone through the ringer many times, and I can tell you that EFT techniques have been among the fastest healing modalities I have ever used in my life. And Reiki, of course, has been a pillar in my existence. Without Reiki, I don't know where I would be today. But I use all of this together, and I will keep learning, because if we don't keep learning, where are we gonna go? So stay tuned, and please start your own journey. Don't let anyone else tell you how it is. You are the master of your own life. You are the magician. We're only here to travel along with you. That's it. We're not here to tell you how it is. And I am a tarot reader. I never tell people how it is. I always just allow them to tap into their own skills, their own resources, and find their own answer, because that is always the best way to go. Peace and happy, gentle healing, everybody. And compliment. You made it to the end when many people don't. Bye for now.